to go into confidence.
Yes.
So
yes. Right, I'll share this now, Vanessa.
Yes, I can hear you now. Sorry.
Okay, thank you. So I think we're up to 5.2, Vanessa, and just pretty completed that. The options are to receive another report. There's no real much read. We've got general. Yeah, it's.
No, she's still there. I'm just getting back to the minutes. Sorry.
I'd probably put into that as a chamber, what we've said to previous CEOs is, look, a small rural council should be as compliant as it needs to be, follow the regulations that it needs to, but we're not the state government. We don't need to tick every single, we don't have 3,000 doing it.
Satisfying.
Yeah. Yes.
Chat extra. Yeah. So, and we're doing everything that I would do to people. Okay, so basically, if you see some weakness, take control, it's really better for you and your Tony to sort of have a look at that extra control. Probably does pick it up. Yes,
I guess it's just one further comment, if I may. What the actual report itself is still new. We knew that the requirement's new, and we've and just in the last week or so, we've seen a lot of other examples of other councils that have done this report and provided extra information and detail, which will give you a lot more confidence in future. So this report,
you'll wait till next time.
Will look different next year. Yeah. Okay. So we're sort of discovering what people are reporting on and what they want to see.
Maybe we should put that in a bit earlier. Let's do it. So two minutes on or something like that to report, because then you can say what you can do it twice. It's only take 5 minutes.
Probably I just want to put back in there though, again, as a chamber, we're saying, well, we need to do the minimum, not the maximum, because at the end of the day, ratepayer funds are limited.
Yes.
And we don't want to keep creating the monster that you've got to feed.
What I'm really saying here, I'm saying the extra control is really that's on Jason. Adam, do a bit more, but it's fine.
Yes.
Okay, so with that, can you read out what you've got there, Shane?
The Audit and Risk Committee resolved to receive and note the content for this report.
Yes, ma'am, but another line, don't we?
I think Ross wanted on there that we report back on any changes in the meeting's time, wasn't it?
Yes, that's right. What again, and particularly,
I mean,
tell us where the potential weaknesses are in internal control and what you're doing about it, which will be you to look at it.
The weakness comes from the only weakness I see comes from a lack of real investigation into it.
Right.
And that's why I was a bit at the start of it, because I've looked into it and I'm happy, and then day to day gets out of gets out of
just so next time. Yeah, just give that sort of report, that's all.
So it's the lack of examination from an outsider that would see stuff that we don't is the only risk I see with
independent
with this. Because I'm happy with it, but I don't know everything, no matter what I tell everyone internally.
Okay, so having said that, we can get something along the lines we've been talking about next time around. That gives some confidence to the readers.
So
we can do that
in 12 months or
in
2 minutes?
Yeah, I would just argue in 12 months' time.
Okay.
I think it does what it does.
If you're doing it, if you do it anyhow, wait 12 months. Yeah. Okay. So thank you.
So I'll just get rid of that extra bit on the recommendation.
because we will
report
back.
We report back and which we have to.
So we have to.
I think you should say recognising the small size of the organisation.
So one for
Well, based on what I've heard is that we're reporting back annually on potential blind spot, because really that's all you're saying is there's a potential blind spot with not having an external person and doing it internally.
I guess what I'm saying is we do report annually. We're required to report annually, and we'll just provide more information.
Next time.
That's more information next time. And even just using the legislation as guidance on the way words around report via what is it?
Look
the growth policies and processes adopted to evaluate and improve the effectiveness of its internal control practices.
Yes.
What are we doing to make it better? Like what's actually been done.
We're not really going to make it better. Well, we've already talked about what it means.
Yeah.
Provide a more detailed analysis next time. Is that what you're coming to, really?
Yes, it is.
We can do that.
Yeah, I think that, I think it's just, okay, thank you. There's a,
So,
just. Yes.
yeah, go back to that.
So. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Move on.
Thank you. Okay, item three. Item three was proposed Budget Bureau review internal financial control policy.
Yep, thanks, Ross. So, as I sort of alluded to before, Jason's report flows into this. This is the actual policy that's put up for review. The internal financial control policy is an LGA mandatory policy. The policy is still considered to be relevant and appropriate. It's presented with minimal changes, and there's a summary of the changes that we've done through there. Changes to the review dates in the table. Some minor changes in section 4 regarding the functions of the CEO, referencing the change of the name to Audit and Risk Committee, not just Audit Committee anymore. Some changes to wording in section 6 that reflect what we actually do. We sort of talked about that. We don't have an actual internal audit function. We rely on external auditors a lot. Inclusion of the annual report we've got to do, and just some other minor changes. I think the policy does what it needs to do for now, and we'll be reporting on that going forward. I do imagine that the next iteration of the policy model could be different.
More detail, yeah.
We've seen a few other examples, but I think it's suffice for now.
Questions? I think the only question, I've always asked the question, any key issues, and the answer is probably no.
So the recommendation is the Audit Risk Committee endorses the draft internal financial control policy in 11/2025 and recommends to council that the policy be adopted.
To remember that was second or wrong, that was in favour, thank you, that's carried. 5.4, shows the local government advice scheme updates.
Yes, it's me as well. Thank you. So SCOSA, tranche 4 going on now, the final one, which we're a part of. It's been an interesting process.
Yes.
So basically this report says we're not ready to give them an up-to-date long-term financial plan. So we're giving them the one from 2023, 2 years old. The reason for that is, and we've probably heard it many times, is about the asset management plans. So we can do a long-term financial plan, and we can plug drivers, and we can probably back them up, but we don't. It's not based in reality. 2 years ago, the asset management plans were fair. A lot's changed since then. And we've had quite a delay on asset management plans for a range of reasons that we don't need to go into, but the fact that they have been delayed is not ideal. They're all in the process of getting done now. And when I say all, I mean, stormwater, CWMS has just come out. You got roads and transport assets, and we've got buildings being done as well. So it's been quite a firm guidance from the chamber, we would say, about getting the asset management plans right. So SCOSA, so we've been pushing back to SCOSA saying, no, we're not going to give you we're not going to do a draft one. Because then we're going, here's numbers that we have made up, and what I want to say made up, but here's numbers that we've plugged. Take that to council and go, hey, here's something that may or may not be correct. Can you adopt it for SCOSA? And then we get assessed on that. And then 3 months later, we come back and go, actually, here's the real one. Council, can you now adopt this and go out for public consultation? It just didn't seem right. So we've spoken to SCOSA about that. They weren't happy. Even quoted legislation on us, but we said this is what's happening, and this is how it's going, and they're just going to have to take that. So what's that going to look like? We're going to get wrapped over things about asset management, which we absolutely understand, and we're doing everything about it. That's our whole existence at the moment, is getting that right, but it doesn't fall into their timeframe. So this report is basically saying it's that. So it's to note that the 2025 SCOSA Local Government Advice Scheme Submission is based on the 2023 adopted long-term financial plan. It endorses council's approach to delay community consultation and adoption of a new long-term financial plan until the updated asset management plans are completed, and supports aligning the adoption of the updated long-term financial plan for 2026-2027 annual budget to ensure consistency, accuracy, comprehensive community consultation.
Okay, thank you for that. And, you know, I understand where we're coming from. Those questions I sent you before, the team yesterday, I think this was released, but
Oh, yes.
so just because it's right on topic now. Just ask the question before, but briefly. A financial forecast, the long-term financial plan based on asset renewal and maintenance needs to identify the AMPs. The answer is no.
So the answer to that would have been in the 2023 version, but yes,
We are.
but the base data behind it was flawed.
Yeah.
And that's where all the work is going. That's right. So the piece to disguiser, I would say their report is not going to be as damning as it would be if they had the accurate data in, but we don't have the accurate data brought in. So the 2023 plans, everything's going to look like it's bouncing along. The asset renewal ratios are going to look right. But it's the base data is wrong. So once that base data is right, then we change it.
Okay, so do both plan use consistent assumptions and data sources? No.
Well, they did, but again, it was flawed and when it was creating hot data.
Yeah.
Because really that's the crux of this is that the data is being, so the asset management is there, but if your useful life is wrong, then it affects everything. And so it's those things that are being fixed. Or we just said it before you came here, if you put all of your roads to one standard, which we do, instead of having maybe 3 standards to build a road, then yes, it's right as it was today, but it's not right for actual use. That's right.
Okay, so that's the sort of answer I'm expecting. So let's go next one. Is there a funding gap between what the AMP requires and what the long-range plan provides?
Not at the moment.
Yes.
Not for the one we're using.
There is.
There is.
Yep. Because in the one that we're using, the 23, there was no real provision for CWMS spending. There was only like 30 grand a year for a pump that was thrown in. There was actually no projected spending on buildings or CWMS, because that would have argued that for infinitum, but because the plan didn't exist with it, which is why the modular plan's been.
It's what we're working on here, but it's the whole idea of the plan.
No, I understand that, but he's just saying, because other current plans, because we're talking about the new ones, but the plans that we have today and we budgeted on this year, which is why we took a index figure and put it in and spent it on infrastructure, because the plan we're working to wasn't right.
What is the impact of the asset renewal funding ratio as a result of that funding gap?
It's going to go down big time. And it should.
Yeah, sure.
The saving grace, I'm just going to say it now, the saving grace and the thing that Escoda should be as pleased as punch with is they've got a council who is taking the glasses off, is pulling the blanket up and going, you know what, we know it's all wrong, we're going to fix it, get ready for the numbers when we do. Because that's going to be the alarming part, will be the numbers, but at least we'll be dealing with truth and we'll be able to set proper plans, and the consultation with the community is going to be real. It's not going to be furphy stuff, it's going to be here it all is. And that's really encouraging.
And we've been really upfront with Escoda as well. We haven't just gone, oh no, we've gone, no, this is what's happening, this is where we are.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what they say.
Yeah. We've also been upfront with them talking about the hit that we'll take with depreciation once the rebounds come back, because we also need to work on our useful lives. It's come up quite a few times. So of our freight routes or our arterial roads, we need to work on useful lives of those and how that fits in. So we've been upfront. We've given them a draft long-term financial plan. We've shown them that we've got a financial sustainability committee. So we're not just going, here it is, leave us alone, we're doing nothing. It's like, here it is, we're doing everything about financial sustainability.
Let's just keep going. How are asset risk and service level impacts considered in financial planning? Will we have?
I don't think until we've got those plans, they really are.
Yes, we have considered them. You're terrified of them. Yeah. So you have considered them.
Definitely.
The service level impacts, well, that's one. It's one partial remedy, but it's not a pleasant one.
No, but it's a realistic one, and the members of the community understand that. We've got a couple of levers we can pull. Service levels one and rates the other.
Both plans reviewed together and updated in response to changes? No. Well, not so far in progress terms, yes.
Yes, they will be, and they are going to be, but historically they. Well, no, I'm going to say that that's not right, because historically, the only piece that was wrong was the asset management plans and the modularised stuff to feed into that. Everything else that was happening, the plans were being used, the asset management plans of the day, forming the financial plans, like that process was working.
Yeah.
It's just the base data was flawed. So I think that the administration was doing the right thing and following processes, except for this piece. And that's the key that feeds everything else. But they were following it, which is what the auditors have said, the processes are gleaming. Thing.
Has management taken appropriate action to address any asset management control findings raised by the external audit? Have there been any control findings by the external audit?
Or other than that, it's got to be done with the audit.
Yeah, it was
we're dealing with that.
it was the timing gap that we missed.
Yeah, the only control I'm aware of is they said you missed your time to have the asset revaluation in. That was it. Because his argument was that it's live everything else was stolen.
Earlier, we say we understand what you're doing. We need the audit committee needs to make some comments.
Yeah, I think it's in line with what it's really, we've spent 2 years talking about it.
That's right. And that's the shame.
Yeah, there's nothing new in the information. Like at this table, no one's sitting here going,
It's different people.
Issue.
Yeah, but nothing's new, nothing's unexpected information. And I think what I was saying sort of earlier is I think there just needs to be comment in there in line with what you've been saying as well, right? Like we know that this is an issue. The Audit and Risk Committee just needs to know that this situation isn't ideal, right? That this isn't a good situation, right? But we know that we're on the way and we know why.
It's essential,
but it's still not good, right? So what we don't want is the three of us being the committee. When we look back to go, well, no one ever said anything about this not being good, right? And say we know that it's not ideal. We know that it's not a good situation. We're not happy about it. Yeah. No one's happy about it. But as part of the minutes of this committee meeting, we're also noting that we're not happy.
It's pretty good. We fix these things as soon as possible.
And I would say that I represented that in the beginning when I first came on this committee, it took a while to bring this to the fore, that this is a strategic risk, to the point at one meeting we nominated it should stay on as a strategic risk. And so that was a period of time it took us to get it to that, including internally with staff. And yes, you're right that the movement of the CEO hasn't been ideal. And I absolutely agree. I've said to the community, it now is on as a strategic risk, because it is.
Yeah.
I mean, the depth of that risk is unattended, we cease to exist. Yeah. That's the risk.
Yeah. Sure. Right.
Plain and simple.
So that was the discussion. So it's but as a committee, we know that this isn't good.
Yeah.
So let's get the wording. So basically, it's just someone read out really with that.
Jason?
Jason, thanks, Jason.
Based on. Do you want me to read it? Yeah. I was putting the change. Number 25, Australia Local Government Commission is based on 2023 adopted long-term financial plan. Yep. Endorses council's approach to delay community consultation and adoption of the new long-term financial plan until the updated asset management plans are completed.
That's not, we agree with that, Tick.
Yeah. But I'm thinking across the main point two now, the part say, because we've said that we're doing 23 and we know that's flawed. The next point should be we see the risk and we acknowledge the risk and we appreciate the work being done to create the new plans. Because then the next 2 points will come after that, because it's saying we'll then use those new plans, but we're putting a finite timeline that it's got to be done. Because we are too internally saying we've got to have this set in place for the next budget cycle. That's right.
So you want to put something in number 2?
3.
Yeah, none of them, I think.
Oh, I think it goes in next. Yeah, that's right. To get
Yeah.
note that well, it's really creating the new asset management plans is critical to the future. I don't know, I don't want to. And basically we've been working on this now for 3 years. It's, we have to put it to bed this year.
Yeah, and it's a strongly, the Audit Risk Committee strongly the view that this is a critical issue.
It's strong, well, maybe, no, creating new asset management plans.
It has been discussed in depth by the SP over.
Has been discussed over several years. And is critical to.
So if the IR's discussed.
Yes. Has been discussed, at the Audit and Risk. In the Audit and Risk Committee. Several years.
It's critical that the estimates, the AMP plans are finalised. As a matter of.
Well, we could put in this financial year, Jason, you happy for? Because I mean, that's what we're doing, because we're saying we can't do a 26/7 budget without having that plan, because we're basically on rubbish.
Yeah.
We do.
We'll definitely be done by then, so yeah, put that down in.
Finalise this financial year and utilise all the 26/7 budget. Because that's exactly what we're going about doing.
Yeah, just the. Yeah.
Utilise for the,
Well, I think as Jason just said, that point 3 says that, so.
okay,
Yeah,
so
let's finalise this financial year.
stop then.
Did that put the weight that you want in it, Ross?
Let's just think about it. Absolutely nothing. And is critical, and the ANR committee, or with the ANR, and that committee emphasises it is critical that asset management plans are finalised this financial year.
Yeah.
Also, do you need to remove the "and" that comes after over several years? They discussed over several years in the Audit Risk Committee. The only thing I'm thinking is just, that it's, considers the impact on the SCOS's ability to, because that's what we're saying, right? Yes, we endorse the delay and the use of 2023, but we're just that also in that decision you're considering the impact that it has on the SCOS's ability to report.
Yeah, we want to be trying to say to SCOSA, give us a break.
Yeah. So note, I think if we just reread it, note the creating of the new asset management plans has been discussed over several years in the Audit and Risk Committee. I don't think you need meetings, just committee. The committee wishes to emphasise that this is critical. That this is critical to. It's critical. I'm actually thinking forward to tie in what Mark said to the SCOSA.
Yeah.
So it's critical to the future financial sustainability planning for the council, and therefore a SCOSA can't make judgments on this set of documents. We're really a year back and then we acknowledge that the current SCOSA report is on.
Yeah, we acknowledge it. So basically it's critical once the book start. Then
we further acknowledge that this is
recognise.
Well, we recognise.
Yeah, that's what it was.
We recognise that this affects the SCOSA, the ability to affects the SCOSA.
We
not done. Well, when we were trying to say that it affects the SCOSA's ability to rightfully practically judge. A report based on 23 data that we clearly have said for years is wrong means that their report is.
Let's go to say, you crack it to here, but you say you're going to do it this year. If you do it this year, we'll give you a tick.
Yeah.
That's what we really want, isn't it? We want to say that here.
It is critical to the financial sustainability of the council. Further recognise that this affects SCO's ability to deliver.
Impacts on SCO's ability.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's, yeah.
Affects SCO's ability to
Assess financial.
assess the current financial sustainability. Well, I think I would have said that, however, is the council's work in achieving this is seen as a positive, like it's a.
It's not a goner. It's not, it's a goner. It's in the process of, we'll show you.
So I just think then, however.
Well, I think that's the next 2 points, right?
Yeah.
But that's, you know.
No, but this one here is about the committee actually acknowledging.
Yeah.
That the next two is the administration saying what they're doing. Because note 2 now is all about the committee.
Because after financial sustainability, we'll start, then
We recognise councils.
SCO's ability to assess. However, not really I'm saying,
Well, I think.
the approach by the councillors.
Well, I think we just endorse the correct approach by council to.
To achieve.
Well, that's into the next 2 points, right? Like realistically, you're saying that committee now endorses the council's approach is the next point, and then supports the aligning of.
Well, so you can just say, committee endorses council's actions as per the next 2 points.
Yeah, because they're both there, right? You want to put it all in dot point and then say it again in the subsequent 2 dot points.
Yes, I think, however, the committee endorses the council. But we've jumped out of there.
Full stop and how it was capital letter.
Yeah, because I've got,
Committee endorses.
The approach taken by.
I've got a slide there that we're undertaking them all.
Council's action once completed, points 3 and 4. Because that ties it together, because it lets council report speak for itself. Could be following actions or whatever. Because that's all you want to say, isn't it, Mark? But basically, we're acknowledging this is a shit situation. The SCOTA can't make a fair judgment on the facts they've got, but we support the council's efforts in resolving the issue.
When they look back next year or whatever, it's like, did we really know? Oh, the issue is with this whole.
Yeah, I mean, it's worth endorsing council's actions. Well, maybe it's just instead of at point 3 and 4, it's endorses council's actions to resolve it this financial year.
To finalise and resolve.
Yeah.
Finalise resolve. So you
See, I like we're using less words and you keep adding words.
We're trying to get.
so
Honestly. I mean, they say, you haven't done, but we recognise what you're doing.
The only thing I would find wrong if this goes, it did look to say council, but I'm not trying to fix themselves because we're the only council.
Yeah, right.
So anyway, Seamus, what do you mean?
committee inspections.
It's
In
detailed and all that.
resolve, well, completely. In taking these actions to see it resolve this financial year, no? Too many actions. Too many actions. Oh, yeah,
Councils.
council's approach. Geez, that scares me, Ross, when it comes to the same words.
Like people like some stuff and time actions are just rewording the risk that they're going to
Yes.
face. Right. It's there's a risk that the thing will fall over there. Or what's the mitigation? The mitigations will take actions to make sure the thing doesn't fall over.
Well, the actions financial year. So it's putting a time on.
Thank you. It was just when you mentioned legislation, I was looking at that. And what I find interesting is, yes, there's about the timeframes when you need to get, revals done, management plans done, all of that. But there was also a piece that says when talking about strategic plans, when it comes to it, it's like the financial projections in a long-term financial plan adopted by council must be consistent with those in the infrastructure and asset management plan adopted by the council, right? So this chicken and egg where, yeah, we need to get it done, but also according to legislation, they need to be consistent.
Then your words are in there that it actually needs to be correct for the infrastructure.
Yeah, right. So it's if they need to be consistent with each other, then we need to do it.
Yeah.
So let's, we get close to this. Yeah, it's important,
Note that creating new asset management plan has been discussed for several years in the Audit Risk Committee. The committee emphasised that it's critical to the financial sustainability of the council. We further recognise that the effects in disclosures, this affects disclosures' ability to assess the current financial sustainability. However, the committee endorses council's approach in taking these actions this financial year.
No, I'm just that will be finalised, these actions. That will occur this financial year or something like that. We just pin down. So we're pinning council down to say you're going to have it all.
Finalise. Well, do you want to say instead of taking finalise these actions?
Yeah.
Taking finalise.
Yes. Yes.
Finalise these actions this financial year.
In the current.
That's this financial year.
Next.
I think it's wrong.
Thanks. I don't know if there's spacing between one and two.
Okay, that's very important.
Yeah. Point of order. Further down in the next page, you've actually just a technicality. You've got 25-6 budget, not 26-7 budget. Okay. So saying it's in that report. Yeah, in that. Yeah.
Okay, we're up to 5.4. Silent across the. Place 5.5.
Careful, mate. Give us a heart attack.
5.4, Real Audit Risk Committee, page 22.
Thanks, Ross. So this is a report that we do every year. Every committee's terms of reference and work plan. We've got to review. Committee's got to review its own performance and self-assessment. It's a standard item. The questions have been developed over the last few years through a number of benchmarking exercises against other councils. We're not proposing any additional questions or changes for this next survey. Sort of seeking your approval. If everything's okay, we'll distribute it via an electronic survey with a request for completion within 4 weeks to get back by the beginning of December. Only change will be we won't be using SurveyMonkey. We've decided to can that subscription as a bit of a cost saving, so it'll be another method. Not sure exactly what that will look like yet, but we use questions.
Microsoft Forms is free. We already pay for it.
Yeah, so it'll be something like that. But yeah, an electronic survey again, and then yeah, the attachment has the questions for your review, what we've been using the last couple of years, whether you're happy with those or proposing any
Question,
changes.
those questions, any additions? Yeah, I think the key to this is we need to talk about it, because the real question next meeting is how do we improve? The questions sort of try and get you there, but the question to ask, any thoughts on how we can better improve the performance of the Audit Risk Committee?
I actually think we're doing it as I'm
No,
but I'm just saying, I think we are. If I think about my first couple of meetings on here, we weren't dealing with the facts, the real issues, we were dealing with process. And now we're talking about the actual issues and trying to figure out where that sits. And I think that's the purpose of this committee, it shouldn't be the rubber stamp and tick that we're following, like the audit committee, you're following the process, great, but you're about to go right.
Yeah. Okay, so basically we go recommendation.
That the Audit Risk Committee resolves to receive and note the contents of this report and approve a self-assessment be distributed to all members of the Audit Risk Committee as an electronic survey for completion by 5 p.m. Friday, 5th of December, with results presented to the next meeting.
I think just that the extra line is just saying at that meeting, the questions, questions will be discussed. There'll be opportunity to discuss the questions, which means, how can we improve was the overall question.
So responses will be discussed or?
Answers will inform continuous improvement initiatives or something like that. Because the answer.
That's what we're really saying, yes.
Yeah.
Will be.
Sorry, answer will inform.
I said that, results to
of the committee. Goals to use the answers.
survey.
Use the results of the survey, sorry, Shana, okay.
That's all right.
Sorry, I'm just here as a guest. Sorry. Sorry.
What you mean in your job or?
Okay. Are we happy with that? We're going to use, all right? Good. Did you remove it? Right, thank you, Mark. Karen, thank you. This is continuity plan 5.6.
Thank you again. Says report provides the Audit Risk Committee opportunity to review and comment on the business continuity plan. Plan document review table provides a summary of previous reviews, updates and training. The BCP has been reapproved by our continuity management team with changes that are mostly minor grammatical changes to names, position, numbers, etc., which are highlighted through the document. We've also got a number of ICT resource requirements that have been updated in the review. So we're quite aware that we've got further staff turnover at executive level and administration officer level, and we do need to undertake some further training and awareness of the plan. It's probably due for a more comprehensive review, and just in the last couple of days, Jason and I met with Shane Woolley, our insurance representative. Sort of highlighted again that a BCP exercise program is a funded program through the LGA Asset Mutual Fund. So we'll definitely be looking to do that in the next year with new staff and get them all up to speed, and hopefully do a more comprehensive review of the plan. And this is reviewed every year, so there may be further changes this time next year.
Okay, comments or questions?
There's right on Mark's alley.
Yeah, I had some suggestions. I didn't want to go through the whole thing, right? And we got a list of 10 there just as generic call outs, but I don't think, and Ron said it earlier, I don't think in the event of BCP event or business that you would be picking this up.
No.
And going, all right, let's get started.
Yeah.
Right. It's not written that way. I think a lot of work's gone into it, a lot of good work, right? Because it's not that people haven't engaged with it over the years. It's not that the effort hasn't gone into it. It's not that people didn't try to understand business continuity. Right? But I think what's missing is what you said now is going to happen. Like, we need to go back to
What's the deliverable?
yeah, well, you need
You
an expert, right? You need an SME in business continuity, right? I read through it, and I'll just give some of the examples of what I'm saying is, I look at the responsibility statements, on page 56 of 302, this is one example, right? But you got responsibilities include there, you got knowledge requirements, but it'd be good to capture dependencies in there, right? We've got different places where if you shuffle through, like, oh yeah, down here, but these people, overall it says that this person's going to need a laptop, right? To be able to, but you've got responsibility statements. So in there you would say, we think for the CMC coordinator, right? This is what it is. This is what the position does. This is what they need to be able to do their work. They need internet connection. They need a laptop. They need blah. They need blah. Right on there, just as some small examples, but
Basically, would you prepare to talk offline about this to either Jason or Dunn?
yeah, I
I think that's probably the best way.
because it's
Because you've got skill set here, could be very useful.
Yeah,
Use that skill set, so
there's a lot,
Okay,
there's little bits, but there's also, it's the whole thing, right? Like it needs to almost start from scratch, because a lot of work's gone in there, but you're almost at a point now with this one to say, it's it's not worthwhile going, let's review it and update it and try to fix it, as it is going, all right, where are we in 2026, if it's going to be next year with anyone? What's the latest from the Business Continuity Institute, you know, the good practice guidelines? What's the latest from ISO 22301, right? Like and go, okay, let's start from scratch and build out a new one with a business impact assessment up front, then a risk assessment, and then we go, all right, strategies and solutions, individual documents, because no one's picking them up and it's up, right?
yeah, so Jason, that's you.
I'm joking, yeah.
No, you're right, it's all now.
Yeah, I've been a fair bit of time in business continuity.
Okay, yeah. You just if you guys, thank you, because basically it can be really valuable. Maybe half an hour, right? So do you have that as a resolution? That's a good solution.
The feedback we gave was there's all of that stuff at the front. So something happens, page one, and then it's not until you actually get to the bottom, which is the sub that you would actually ever use. Maybe some of the. So yeah, it's you've still got to have all that stuff, but if we can refine the plan on the page, which comes from a proper business impact assessment done, prioritise our processes and procedures that need to be spun up first, and what's the dependencies on IT and what buildings and what people and what's maximum level outage and all of that sort of stuff. There's a fair bit of room to improve there, and I think doing the exercise will really spell that out. So I think if we could get the exercise done free, it's going to show us some glaring and go, right, we come back in here and go, this is what we need to do. Here's where our deficiencies are. Let's go and write a new one.
Yeah, because the exercise is a good thing. Some people go, "We'll do this," and you sort of say, "Well, what do you mean? Are you just deciding now that's right, or is this in your plan somewhere?
That's right.
Are you following your plan?" So
That's a really good solution. So basically, the recommendation of the Audit Committee receives to receive and note the conference report, then it was agreed that a discussion take place between Jason to
Well, I think it's already, I think you've already got there. I mean, you've got there saying this was great, but that's used by Davis here, and Jason's going to update it. Well, not update, you, after this training's undertaken, so we're going to undertake our training, risk scheme training through LTA.
Free, that's the funded program,
and from that develop a new workable. Because the reality is, in most of the conversation we had when you were in the room, was that you have these 84-page documents and an event happens and no one gives a toss about that. They go on and do what they got to do. They, turn off all the computers because they know when power comes back on, it needs to be a soft start.
I consider having multiple documents. I want to say that not having multiple plans. What I mean is, you have your supporting documents that talk about your structure and your system, like your business continuity management system. And then the plans are the stripped back, like the plan, but it doesn't have all the other stuff in that. You don't want to bring people on what's up front. You don't want the backup of everyone's BCP to be all, because then they still pick it up and it's huge, right? You're going, this is your plan. This is your song.
It's not to be your role.
What
happens if something goes wrong?
But you do need to in like looking through, there's a lot of reference to we use contracted services or services by the council. Will arrange handling laptops on some PCs, even in the childcare. Trying not to pay too much into that because it's not my area, but just to get some of the things around. We use words like we consider using alternate sites. There might be an opportunity to investigate working with other people. Another one was about we're going to use contractors, if there's a BCP, hire a generator. Right, if there's an outage and it's going to go for more than X period because of the UPS, we'll hire a generator, right? every one of those where you talk about contractors and hiring generators and that, you need to have pre-organised, right? Because you can't wait until the event and go, now we'll consider working in our council, now we'll consider using.
I hate to tell you, probably get a generator, so.
Well,
That's
that,
one that you need.
that's what I put there, right? Hire a generator, is going to be available, and especially in the note, if there's a power outage that's affecting the entire area for days. If you rock up to somewhere that does hire a generator after X period of time, it's been 2 days, we'd like to hire a generator. He's going to be like, you're 1 day and 24 hours too late, right? After 2 days of power outage. I think that's gone.
This is gonna be a very good recommendation, but just it's basically, you know, pretty appropriate.
Yeah,
So let's just get the wording right.
will undertake a
Oh, the CP,
LDA, I don't know, what is it, phone?
what's it called? Exercise program.
Yeah, BCP exercise, business continuity exercise.
These are my donations still to council.
Be paid for.
Yeah, well, I did my time 2 years, 2 hours of my life, I never get back.
Again, because, yeah. It's not, yeah.
Got a new plan and will liaise with, following the development of that plan.
You can comment, then I don't think.
Will liaise.
Yeah, leave it there now.
With input from Guru Mark.
Liaise with, Rogers.
Or you want to do in consultation with?
In conjunction with. Yeah.
Because I guess.
I think what we're trying to get to is use the skills and expertise that's on the risk and audit committee.
Yeah.
If we can afford him.
Within Mark. Rogers. Yeah, that's all. That's all we need.
Yeah.
Okay, so remember, you've run on, but that's it.
Should it say independent member Mark Rogers for those that don't know?
Yeah.
We could just pick any Mark Rogers.
Yeah.
Oh, we can all. Okay.
I have had email addresses that are just to, because I'm not the only one that works there, so.
Move it, second. It's well done, thank you for that. Risk work program.
So the work program, again, under page 1. So this report provides the committee with opportunity to review the revised and updated work plan for this year and a new proposed draft work plan for next year. So next year's work plan is similar to the one we've just got. It includes 5 finance policies due for review as per Public Council Policy Register. One report of note will obviously be the SCOSA's final report, which we anticipate in February 2026. Another proposed change in this plan, point of discussion here, I guess, is the removal of budget reviews going to Audit and Risk Committee first. The committee does play a more strategic role in the financial reporting framework, overseeing and monitoring contributions of management and sort of ensuring that our financial statements present fairly the state of affairs of council. If we excluded those items, the work plan still has 38 reports planned over the year. It's still a lot of work, and that wouldn't include any other reports or information that may arise from the new Financial Sustainability Committee. Meetings are still proposed to be from 11 till 1 at all alternate sites as per usual. All the meetings are proposed to occur on a Wednesday, which does align with staff resourcing. We have changed that at different times, but Wednesdays hopefully see going forward. And in most cases, meetings are planned to be 1 week before the proposed council meetings, which will help with the continuation and flow of information and decision making. So the recommendation there is
Just a note, so there's currently a piece, as I told you earlier, there's currently a piece out of public consultation with this facility being purchased by the CFS and us having one office for administration, which would be in Pinaroo. So the point of saying that now is just in line with that. That's not a foregone conclusion, that's out of public consultation. But the reality is the business side of it is going to be combined into one place, irrelative of the building, which means that the likelihood is that all meetings would be in Pinaroo unless we make a decision to hold this meeting specifically somewhere else, but you won't have.
Just making the point, it's been.
Making the point, because in there it says that it's alternating, like it's likely not to be.
Just leave that, the information. Okay. I didn't. BCP, part of what you do, again, what, if it does go down to one location, that's a lot of your BCPs, like, we've got 2 locations.
Yeah. That's one of the things mine. Yep. Sorry.
No, it's just coming, date right, date. 25,
We've got two plans there. Got current old plan.
Green, down.
okay, so that one's we've already done, yeah. We got those. Okay, queries or comments? Except for that, it's much the same as last time, and I agree not doing the budgets with other, other audit response don't do that necessarily. It's in budgets is not really a grouping matter.
It was also from feedback from our budget process last time where it came to Audit and Risk Committee first, and then we brought it to council, and the council sort of went, oh, we'd like to make a change before it goes there.
Yeah, sure.
So it was coming back, right, input is there, whatever.
Particularly for budget, it's different to actions.
Yeah.
So happy with that. So any other queries or comments on 5.7?
Don't know if you've got a chance to check the dates, whether they do it on.
I check the date, I think they look good. They just rule them out as possible dates. Yeah, here, there, 4 dates. Could be done already.
Sorry?
Could be done, well, if you've given us the 4 dates, I'm not.
Yeah, the 4 dates are there.
Actually, right.
Yep, they're all there. Put the year ahead.
Keep away from August, wouldn't he? Okay, so where's the resolution?
Recommendations that the Audit and Risk Committee receive and note the contents of the report, endorses the updated 2025 work plan and endorses the new proposed 2026 work plan.
Any comments or questions? Mover? Mark, second to Ron, thank you, that's carried. One of those days is my birthday, by the way. So.
Yeah.
That one, oh no, it's down there, sorry, yeah, sorry, I just was looking at the top one there. Cool, move on.
Okay, so new and emerging updated security risks. Jason.
Me?
Yep.
I've got one. Is Vanessa on is she still on the line? She is.
Yes, I am.
I don't want to throw Vanessa under the bus here.
But
Excellent.
there's a
I'm going to, so I want to preface it by saying I'm very happy with Vanessa, how she does her work, her knowledge is brilliant, this is not the issue. I think the risk we've got,
Is if I get hit by a bus.
Is if I get hit by
that's exactly right, yeah, is we've got a lot of the, a lot of the knowledge there and a lot of the how to update the systems and all of that and input the budget.
I always consider it to be a risk.
Yeah,
there is.
Yeah, so that's probably the only one that I would acknowledge. Yeah, that's some things like that before. Yeah,
like I
okay.
said previously, like the single point.
Single point of failure. Yeah, that's right.
watch out when you're crossing the road.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, buses.
Yeah, I'll tell my stand.
Yeah, I guess just to add to that, that it has been discussed and brought
Yeah,
up
okay.
several times. Obviously, we've had a long, excellent relationship with Vanessa and everything she does. She's got in-depth knowledge of our organisation, its committees and everything. And I guess the only other way to address that or mitigate that there is other people, other firms that do exactly what Vanessa does if she does get hit by a bus, and we all hope that it doesn't happen.
Don't get hit by a bus. Anything else, other people?
For me, it came up recently, where we had a presentation at one of our council meetings that scared the Jesus out of me. Long-term water security, didn't realise it was a risk, had asked before if it was a risk and told it wasn't, but it seems it is. So we're going to put some more work into that, but that is a really scary risk, because everything we are and do, is very beholden to that. Landscape and, managed to scare the pants off us.
Okay, so. There's just comments there, so that's, we got long term that, and, we should put.
So it's
External
external
financial advisor.
Yeah.
You'll get it right. Bit of space to.
Just get me another dog like that.
Okay, now we go.
Well, yes, because we're not passing anything now.
Did you want to mention
I was going to ask, did you?
what's happened in the last couple of weeks?
Do you want to?
Yeah, okay.
So I might as well now, because
It's just, I know it's been brought up a few times before, but the housing factor is actually happening a bit now. So we've lost one staff member because of housing. We've got another one that is currently will be homeless from 5th of January.
And any sort of resolutions?
We've got two towns. We've got two towns looking out for him and his little family. Yeah, which is how things get done, but not through real estate. But yeah, so yeah, it's a thing.
What about it's generally? How do you go? Have you got vacancies? Are you filling the vacancies? What's happening?
We've got one now. We will have one.
I've got one, hopefully about to fill one in the next couple of weeks. But you could have another one in the not too distant future.
We've got a couple we've delayed for the outside staff as well.
And Jason, your situation, your how just from your housing situation.
It comes with the job.
It's where is it?
In Pinneroo.
Yeah. And that's satisfactory from your point of view.
Oh yeah, it's great.
Or any other issues to raise? No, but thank you for that. And now, thank you. How do we do this?
So we just move the motion to go in and then I'll turn the video off.
We remove the motion to go into confidence from later on. Second by Mark. Harry, or Barry, just.
And
You did it pretty long. I read out that recommendation. You've done well.
Actually,
For the-
hours, get something good.